Darkpress presents Speak of the Devil, a laid-back magical chat with Adam and Darian Darkly.
Greetings, Darklings. I'm Adam.
And I'm Darian. I was speaking in an old mission church in a dusty little border town in Mexico. At the close, I asked if anyone in the building needed prayer. All was quiet until the translator interpreted my words into Spanish. To my surprise, everyone in the crowd rushed the altar at once. We had one interpreter and 6 people on our team, only one of which could also speak some Spanish. A lady came to me and grabbed my hand. She was clearly upset about something, and she was telling me all about it as quickly as she could. The only problem was that I couldn't speak Spanish. In fact, we'd been delivering toys to orphanages all along the border for days, and I'd gained the smiles of the kids by making fun of my own inability to speak the language by saying, "Mi casa es su baño," which they found hysterical. Bathroom humor is apparently universally funny if you're a kid. But now was a serious moment, and I was not sure what to do. The translator and our one team member who could speak the language were swamped with people, and I had a line behind this lady waiting for me. I placed a hand on her and began to pray. After a few moments, the translator made his way over. I felt a familiar warmth come over me, and I began speaking to the woman in English. "Your son has run away from home, and you're very worried about him." The translator repeated my words to her in Spanish. She erupted with tears and began drastically shaking her head yes. I continued on to tell her where I saw him in my mind's eye, and assured her that he was trying to get back home, but did not have a way to contact her. But he was okay and would be returning to her soon. She threw her arms around me and thanked me profusely. I did not know how I knew this. I just did. And this brings us to the first of 5 signs that a person is psychic. Oh, and my Spanish is improving.
There are many subtle indications that a person is psychic, but our first of 5 is number 1, knowing things without knowing how you know them. This can be things like knowing what song is going to come on the radio before it comes on the radio, or knowing that someone's about to call you and then you look down on your phone and you see their name. This can also be in the form of premonitions or prophetic dreams that come to pass. I've personally had this since a child, where I would dream of places that I would visit or places that I would live, even landmarks in that city, long before I'd ever visited there or moved, and then moving there and even thinking that it was a bit of deja vu, realizing as I grew older that it was far more.
Our second sign, number 2, is visions or voices. We tend to think of visions as external movies that play out in front of you. That's called an open vision. But often a vision may occur inside your head, like an unprompted video playing out in your imagination until it's finished. This is called a closed vision. Learn to pay attention to inner dialogue and flashes in your mind's eye. The gift of sight is subtle in most of us until it is cultivated. Some psychics are more prone to auditory events. I really think some people who've been diagnosed schizophrenic are having auditory psychic downloads and don't realize it. We'll discuss this in a little more detail next week.
Number 3, feeling people in your space or empathy. This can be things such as picking up others' emotions, and this is another gift of mine that I've experienced throughout my life, especially as a child, but more strongly so as an adult. One example of this is being in a room full of people and getting that hot flash of heat all across me and all through me, like a raging anger, and then moments after a big fight breaking out in the room.
I've witnessed that. I've seen that happen to you. That was my first indication that you were psychic, was seeing you become like physically agitated in a room of people, and then a few minutes later people would start shouting at each other, and some kind of argument would break out.
And then it passes.
Yeah.
After. It's interesting.
Number 4 is deja vu. That sense that you have experienced a set of circumstances or have been to a place before with such nagging insistence by your mind that you're almost certain of it. There are, of course, scientific suggestions for why the brain pulls this trick on us, yet it has been a consistently present trait to a greater degree than normal in every seer I've ever worked with or trained over the years.
Number 5 is recognizing patterns in the world around you, or synchronicity. This can be like communication in your environment that syncs up with what you're thinking or saying regularly, the TV, the radio, conversations of strangers in a restaurant seated nearby that copy you or say the same words or phrases simultaneously, almost like you're tuning into the fabric of reality. Coincidences happen to everyone, but someone who's psychic experiences these coincidences to an extraordinary degree on a daily basis. If you'd like to support the show, spend some money with us at Devil's Conjure or buy us a coffee. Of course, you can also like, subscribe, comment, and share us with your friends for free, and we certainly appreciate that too.
That's all the time we have for this episode. If you'd like more information on psychic abilities and how to develop them, we'll be offering classes in the fall at Darkly School of Witchcraft.
Next week, we will continue tonight's discussion in an episode called 4 Kinds of Psychic Power. Don't miss it.